What if the words you speak every single day are quietly building or quietly destroying the life you are trying to create? Not metaphorically, not as a nice idea, but literally. What if every time you said, "I never have enough money," or "nothing ever works out for me," or "I always attract the wrong people," you were placing an order with the universe, and the universe was filling it? This is not a new idea. In fact, a woman figured this out over 100 years ago. Her name was Florence Scovel Shinn, and what she discovered about the power of your words was so far ahead of her time that the world is only now beginning to catch up. In this video, we are going to unpack her most powerful secret, the one that changes everything once you truly understand it. And if you stay until the end, we have put together a set of practical steps you can begin using today to shift the words you speak and start calling in the life you actually want. Florence Scovel Shinn was born in 1871. She was an artist, an author, and a spiritual teacher at a time when women were not supposed to be any of those things. She worked quietly and powerfully out of her apartment in New York City, teaching anyone who came to her door, and they came in droves, that the life they were living was a direct reflection of the words they were speaking and the beliefs they were holding. In 1925, she published a small book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. It sold millions of copies. It is still selling today because the truth she put into that book does not age. It does not expire. It does not belong to any one religion or culture or era. It belongs to every woman who has ever wondered why her life looks nothing like what she imagined. Florence Scovel Shinn said something that stopped people in their tracks when she first said it. She said, "Your word is your wand, not your hard work, not your connections, not your circumstances. Your word. What you speak, what you declare, what you repeat to yourself in the quiet of your own mind." She believed and taught that every word you speak carries a vibration, a frequency, a creative power, and that the universe is always listening, always responding, always building in the direction of what you are saying most consistently. Now, before you dismiss this as spiritual wishful thinking, consider this. Modern neuroscience has confirmed what Florence knew intuitively a century ago. The words you speak to yourself shape the neural pathways in your brain. They literally rewire how you perceive the world, what opportunities you notice, and what you believe is possible for you. When you say, "I am always struggling with money," your brain accepts that as truth and begins filtering your reality to confirm it. It will show you the overdraft. It will highlight the rejection. It will make you blind to the opportunity sitting right in front of you. This is not punishment. This is not the universe being cruel. This is simply the law of your own mind doing exactly what you told it to do. Florence called this the law of the spoken word, and she was very clear. Most people are using this law unconsciously. Most people are speaking their worst fears into existence without ever realizing they are doing it. Think about the women in your life. Think about yourself. How many times a day do you say things like, "I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. This always happens to me. I could never afford that. I'm not good enough for that." Who am I to want something like that? Every single one of those statements is a declaration. Creative act, an instruction to your subconscious mind and to the universe around you. And the universe, without judgment, without question, says yes. Florence wrote, "You are what you believe yourself to be, not what you wish you were, not what you are working toward. What you believe yourself to be, right now, in the words you are speaking today." Here is where it gets personal, because the truth is, most of us were never taught to speak life over ourselves. We were taught to be modest, to not want too much, to not get our hopes up, to be realistic. And so we learned a language of limitation. We learned to shrink our desires before anyone else could. We learned to talk ourselves out of things before life could disappoint us. We became fluent in the language of not enough. And then we wondered why not enough kept showing up. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this deeply. She saw it in every woman who walked through her door. Women who were brilliant, capable, and deserving, but who were speaking a story of lack so consistently that their outer world had no choice but to reflect it back. She once wrote, "No man can attract money if he despises it." And the same is true for love, for health, for opportunity, for anything you desire. If you want love but speak about love as though it always hurts you, you will attract what you speak. If you want financial abundance but speak about money as though it always runs out, you will attract what you speak. If you want to be seen, valued, and chosen, but speak about yourself as someone who is always overlooked, you will attract what you speak. This is not about toxic positivity. This is not about pretending everything is fine when it is not. Florence was very clear on this. She was not asking you to lie to yourself. She was asking you to become conscious, truly conscious, of the story you are telling. Because here is what she knew that most of us forget. You are always telling a story. The question is it the story you want to be living? There is a particular pattern that so many women fall into today, and Florence identified it 100 years ago. She called it speaking from the appearance. Speaking from what things look like right now instead of what you are calling in. When you look at your bank account and say, "I am broke," you are speaking from the appearance. When you look at your relationship status and say, "I am always alone," you are speaking from the appearance. When you look at your body and say, "I will never feel good in this skin," you are speaking from the appearance. And the appearance always feeds itself when you keep speaking it into existence. Florence said, "Do not talk of lack. Do not discuss limitation. Because the moment you stop speaking from the appearance and start speaking from the vision begins to move toward you." Now here is the part of Florence Scovel Shinn's teaching that most people overlook. And it is perhaps the most important part of all. She didn't just teach the power of positive words. She taught the law of non-resistance. And this is where so many women get stuck. You can repeat affirmations all day long. You can speak abundance, speak love, speak health, and still nothing shifts. Why? Because underneath the positive words, there is a current of resistance. A quiet but powerful voice that says, "But it hasn't happened yet. But what if it doesn't work? But I don't deserve this. But it's too good to be true." Florence called this the enemy within, the doubt, the fear, the old story, running underneath the new one. And as long as that current of resistance is flowing, the universe cannot deliver what you are asking for. Imagine asking someone to hand you something while simultaneously taking a step back. That is what most of us are doing with our desires. We speak abundance while feeling lack. We speak love while bracing for rejection. We speak success while secretly expecting failure. Florence said, "Infinite intelligence is never late, but cannot receive what you are resisting." The law of non-resistance is simply this: stop fighting your own good. Stop the inner battle between what you want and what you believe you are allowed to have. Release the grip. Trust the process. Speak the word and then get out of the way. This is not passivity. This is one of the most powerful and disciplined things a woman can do. To hold the vision without desperation. To speak the word without fear. To trust without needing proof. Florence called this having faith in the invisible. And she said it was the single most transformative practice a person could develop. So how do you actually begin to apply this in your life today? Florence Scovel Shinn was deeply practical. She didn't just offer philosophy. She gave her students tools. And here are the most powerful ones, adapted for the woman standing in her life right now. Step 1, audit your words for 1 full day. Just notice. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. How many times do you speak limitation? How many times do you say I can't? I always, I never, I'm not. You cannot change what you cannot see. So start by seeing. Step 2, replace declarations of lack with declarations of possibility. You don't have to make a giant leap. Florence didn't ask for that. You don't go from, I'm always broke to I am a millionaire. You go to, money is finding its way to me. Abundance is my natural state. The right opportunity is already on its way. Small shifts, consistent repetition. That is where the rewiring happens. Step 3, catch yourself speaking from the appearance. When you catch yourself describing your life as you don't want it to be, pause and ask, is this the story I want to keep telling? If it isn't, choose a different sentence. Not a lie, not a fantasy, but a truer truth. The truth of what you are calling in. Step 4, use Florence's own declarations. She gave her students specific spoken words for every area of life. Here are a few you can begin using today. For abundance, my good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream. For love, I am now irresistibly attracted to my heart's desire. For clarity and direction, infinite intelligence, give me a definite lead. Reveal to me my perfect plan. Speak these out loud, with feeling, with belief, as often as you need to. Step 5, protect your words like they matter, because they do. Be careful what you agree with. Be careful what conversations you participate in. Be careful what stories you tell about yourself to friends, to family, to the world. Every word is a seed, and you are always planting something. Make sure you are planting what you actually want to harvest. Florence Scovel Shinn lived at a time when the world told women their voice didn't matter, and she spent her entire life proving the opposite. She knew, long before neuroscience confirmed it, long before manifestation became a mainstream concept, that the woman who controls her words controls her world. You are that woman. You have always been that woman. The only question is, what will you say next? Because whatever it is, the universe is already listening. If this resonated with you today, share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear it. And if you are ready to go even deeper, our next video will show you exactly why your life keeps reflecting the same patterns you are ready to leave behind. Florence had the answer to that too, and we will see you there. This is Soul and Spectrum, where healing meets purpose, and every woman remembers who she was always meant to be. We will see you in the next one.